Growing up, I always thought I was out of shape, fatigued. Even as a little kid, I always got dizzy playing sports, especially hockey. I played hockey my whole life. And then my doctor, my general doctor, he kind of figured out you kind of have an arrhythmia in your heart. And he says, I want to refer you to another doctor. So I went to Burlington first, and it was relatively new technology then, 99, 2000 was when it happened. I was just turning 16. And they referred me to Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester. And the doctor there was talking about burning the fibers for this procedure they called AFib, an ablation. So then he told me about because of my rhythm was out of whack, and he was going to put me back in rhythm by burning the fibers. So we tried that procedure the summer I was 16 years old, and it didn't take then. And they said probably with proper medication that it could be controlled. But it wasn't really controlled that well. I'd slip out of my good rhythm back into my bad rhythm. So I went on with the medication, tried to find the right dosages and see if it could get corrected. It didn't get corrected. And then it took up until 2009, January, when I was snow blowing my driveway, where I ripped a valve in my chest and I started bleeding inside my chest. So I went to the hospital. I thought it was a heart attack because my left arm and everything went weak, and they shipped me to Plattsburgh, where then I had a stent put in to stop the bleeding. And then at that time, the doctor said, we'd like to refer you for the same procedure you had before, an ablation for your AFib. And technology's changed a lot. That was January 2009, so it was almost 10 years. And he said, Dr. Sufi, he says, he'll look at you and see how things are. So I said, okay. And at that time, we scheduled it for December of 2009. And at that time, he told me, because he didn't know me as a patient, and he had to basically map out his how he was going to fix me and everything. I was on the table for 8 hours. He had me corrected for almost a day, and then I fell back out of sinus rhythm into my bad AFib rhythm. And then he said, we need to do it one more time. He says he thinks he knows what exactly to do. We did the procedure again in February 2010, and I got corrected, and I've been out of AFib ever since. Well, once that happened February, everything changed. I no longer got fatigued. I never felt dizzy doing anything strenuous activity. Running, it's kind of like, I always thought running was a little bit of a struggle for me. I could do it, but I was always seriously winded, and I always just thought I was out of shape. But in this case, I wasn't. It was just the AFib that was making me do that. And then once I got on a treadmill, before when they were doing my check with my AFib, I could do a walk and my heart rate would get up to 135, 140. Well, now I can do a good run, almost a sprint, and now it just barely gets up to 125, 130. And that's using most of my effort. So now my heart rate doesn't work as hard, and I can do a half marathon now. I don't get tired. That's a lot better. My kids, they keep me up a good portion of the day. There's no more breaks now. I got a toddler, Maurice, and his younger brother, Samuel. He's 6 months, and it's great now. I can handle most of the dad activity without getting tired or anything, and then I can still make time for myself, do my runs whenever I want, and it's a lot better. Dr. Sufi was great. He explained everything to me. I was new going into this. I only had pamphlets of what the procedure and what the illness I had was, and he explained everything, and I felt I knew a lot more coming out of that than I did before going in, and he made sure he got in contact with me for checkups and everything, and I appreciate everything he did. I even sent him a Christmas card and thanking him personally. It was real nice. And Champlain Valley Cardiology, they definitely, when I had to get that stent put in, I thought it was all over. I was real worried, and when you hear bleeding inside your chest, and at that time, I was only in my late 20s. I never think that would happen. But I got turned around, and it's definitely, I feel grateful.
While we're proud of our quality of care, we know it's more about quality of life. The CVPH Heart Center.